Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ashley Evans. Today we have Justin Peters Van Tonder joining us. He's a specialist in managing incentive clients and launching impactful programs. Justin will share insights on planning, execution, and the powerful impact a successful launch can make. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ashley. Good to be here.
What makes the launch phase of these programs critical to the success of the project?
It is extremely critical. The launch phase of a program is very much the rocket fuel of launching any incentive program. That goes above and beyond anything from incentive programs, rewards programs, loyalty programs. I think that sets the tone for the program. It is really where you get the buy-in from the participants who are going to be partaking in that program. It is setting the tone of what is the value proposition, what do we need to do in the program, and most of all, what is in it for us. So that sets the tone, and from that perspective, it allows you to then see the instant engagement in the program and how that goes going forward.
So walk us through the steps of planning and executing these launch events.
Actually, I think it is one of a critical element for launching a program or the incentive program is truly going continuously back to what is the primary objective of the reasons why a client has come to us, asked us for our expertise with designing their program, and then taking it from there. As long as you've got that clear message, that is the golden thread that you will find constantly through every single metric, touch point, moment of truth of the program. And when it comes down to the launching of it as well, it is understanding what is the message behind it, what do we need to do, how are we going to do it, and in the sense of the participant, what is in it for me, and from a client perspective is what is the ROI of the investment, so what is the return on investment. So it could be monetary, it could be market share, it could be engagement. So it is constantly keeping in mind, going back to what was the original objective that we had put this into place in our business, and are we achieving that throughout the process.
And what are some of the challenges that you face in this launch of these programs?
How long do you have for me to sit here and tell you the answer? There's many challenges. I think one of the biggest challenges is first of all deciding what is the launch going to look like. I mean, we could go from virtual launches to face-to-face launches. It could be massive launches. It could be smaller group launches, more focused and targeted depending on what level of the business they're doing it within. I think in terms of if it is going to be an in-person launch, it is trying to marry the logistics with the creative. Does the creative allow or does the logistics allow the creative to be in that space? And if not, how do we change those elements that is not going to still take away from the actual impact of what the launch is going to be? Virtual, there's an array. Is there proper internet connection? Is there connection? Does everybody have access to computers, mobile phones? Does everybody have access to Wi-Fi? So there's many of those things, and I think when you sit down and you formulate the launch plan, and it is so important and critically important to do a proper project breakdown and make sure that you've got all stakeholders on board to ensure that every single element is in place. And you know what, at the end of the day, you have to have a backup plan for the backup plan. You can't just think that it's going to happen. You need to be able to be agile enough that you can existentially pivot and move to something without taking the core message away from what you're trying to achieve.
And Justin, what are the key elements that can make or break the launch of an incentive program?
It's such an interesting journey when you start speaking to clients with regards to launch and what are the elements that are going to land the program within their organizations. Whilst it is extremely important, the rewards and the incentives should very much heavily go towards being something that is an element given to the participants and given to the individuals in the organization. I think, as I said before, a launch is truly the rocket that launches the program within the organization. There's so much fuel and energy that gets put into getting the program off the ground. Once the understanding lands with the participants within the organization, that is when it's smooth sailing. I think the hard work and that initial spark needs to be that element that really just vibrates through the organization for them to clearly understand that as a network and as management in an organization, they are really putting something in place.
And I'm sure technology plays a major role in both launch events, but also management of incentive programs.
Absolutely, 100%. Technology is so important. We live in a world right now where everything's at our fingertips. We can turn around. It's not even a case of having to pick up your mobile phone anymore, or switching on your computer or switching on your laptop. It's just like, it's voice recognition. You can say, insert whatever the technology is, say, can you do this, can you find this information? And it's so important because it allows us constant interaction with the program, looking at the metrics, understanding if there's engagement. It is not now having to wait till reports and how things happen within the program at the end of the month reporting, but it is instantaneous. Allows us to be able to constantly monitor and see if we are landing the message, see if it's resonating with individuals. So it allows us it's a constant movement to be able to see, are we doing it right? Did we understand what the primary objective was in the beginning? And that is constantly how you just go through the process. And that's why technology is important.
And looking ahead and looking at trends moving forward?
Whilst we live in a world where we got constant information given to us, we can do virtual launches, we can do many things in that realm, and we're definitely moving into the realm of where virtual reality and creating worlds and spaces could be extremely exciting. There's also some form of a trend happening now where events and launches are happening where they're saying it's a no phone zone. Put your phone down. We've seen so many images of where people are standing at concerts or launches of events and they're standing with their hand in the sky and they're recording it. No, put it down, enjoy the moment, because the power of launching any product, any event, any brand, any incentive program, any rewards program, the power of it has the ability to build in a core memory for you to be able to walk away and say, that made me feel amazing. I want to be a part of this all the time. That is where I think the trend is going to. Technology is going to be great. It's going to allow us to be able to look at the data and create beautiful things. But it's also taking that human touch and that human connection again and saying, for that moment, just put technology down, let the experts do it in the background, and enjoy the ride.
Well, Justin, that was a fantastic interview. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ashley.